you kind of look past that.
Yeah, they
Because
don't
he's
even
not about the
defend
fight.
themselves from the punches.
Exactly.
Like his hands are down, he's
Exactly.
getting punched in the face.
Exactly.
Who would you like to work with? You said you want to make a movie with like a big name. Who would be someone that you'd like want to have in your movie if you could?
Wow. There's a lot of them. I mean, I'd love to work with guys like, because I like, I want to do action films, right? So I'd love to work with Jason Statham, guys like those, Mark Wahlberg. I'd like to work with, even Chris Fox, guys like those. I mean, yeah, there's a slew of names I would like to work with. Yeah, and hopefully I can reach out to them eventually. So yeah.
Yeah, you do action films. I've heard somewhere that they say like you can't really go wrong with action films because it sells everywhere. Like comedy, not everyone has the same humor in every country, but action is like a primal understanding. Everyone gets it, everyone can. And that's why like Hong Kong movies do well in America. And like Michael J. White, yeah, he was saying that's why he only takes on action movies because he knows he's going to make a lot of money doing action movies. What do you
Right.
think about that?
Oh, I totally agree. That's why action is my niche. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, action is like a universal theme. So people love, no matter what language and no matter what culture, people love a good fight on screen. People love shoot 'em ups, they love explosions, they love people fighting and all that stuff. It's total fantasy. So people love that. So I think action definitely is a universal theme that works everywhere.
What's your favorite action scene from a movie? Like your favorite fight scene?
My favorite fight scenes. The thing is, action also evolves and it gets better and better each time. But I remember the one thing that really changed the way I see action filmmaking was the one I saw this movie called Ong Bak with Tony Jaa, and the way they did the stunts, the way they did the fights, and I'm like, oh my god, they're actually like, oh my god, I can't believe that they would have this one take, one take fight scene with like 120 different moves or something like that, all in one take, and it's just unbelievable, like the way they did that stuff. And then eventually I saw another movie, The Raid Redemption, and that blew my mind too. So those movies, Ong Bak and Raid, they always play in my mind over and over again. Every time I create an action film, I always want to take like a snippet of Ong Bak or a snippet from the Raid, and somehow integrate it into my movies.
That's cool. Yeah, there's like so much different ways of doing fight scenes. Like I'm not sure if you've seen Daredevil, but there's also in the first season
Yeah. I
there's that
remember that.
one shot
Yeah,
scene where he's in the hall. He's
yeah,
just
the one shot scene.
yeah, that one
Yeah,
was really
and
good.
it's all in the dark.
Yeah,
I love that. That stands out to me too because it's all in the dark and all you see are silhouettes, but it's just amazing. And it's just like one continuous all the way down to the stairwell, just continuous fighting, and everything's in
yeah.
the dark. It's like crazy. I love that scene. That's my favorite. One of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah, and in the third season they did a similar one, and also with Punisher, like in
Yeah, with
the
Punisher. Yeah,
prison. Yeah, that one was also
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Oh, the prison scene. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
the one where he's covered in
That's
blood.
definitely. Yeah, yeah, that was so cool. It's a little short, but I wish it was longer. But yeah, that
Yeah,
was my favorite too.
those scenes they like get you going. It's like you can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I really like the Rocky films. The boxing scenes they are really well.
yeah.
It's and Rocky was like the first, I think one of the first movies to actually like show like almost a full boxing fight, and it changed the
Mhm.
way uh fight scenes were made after that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rocky is awesome, especially the last Rocky, the last couple of Rocky movies. Um, the which one was that? The last couple of ones. The
Creed.
boxing scene, Creed, yeah, Creed. I love the choreography in the boxing fight. It was so real. It's so real
Yeah.
compared to the first three Rocky movies. it's so different. It's like, but the thing about Rocky movies too is what people also don't realize is the it's not about the action, it's about the story. It's
Mm.
a very good script, very good. The characters are really good. Stallone is like amazing actor in the first three Rockies. So it's mesmerizing to watch. So to a point, if you just want to dissect the fight scene in Rocky 1, 2, and 3, it's actually super unrealistic. It's like it's just very Hollywood, but you kind of look past that
Yeah, they
because
don't
it's
even
not about the
defend
fight.
themselves from the punches.
Exactly.
Like his hands are down,
Exactly.
he's getting punched in the face.
Exactly. But you kind of look past that because the story is so good and the character development is so good, so that's the difference about that. It's not like it's it's not one of those movies where people watch it because of the action. People watch it because of the story. You know.
Yeah, especially the first one. Like the first one was real because he took it from his own life, his experience. Like
Right.
I heard a story of when Stallone was starting out, he was like so broke that he had to live in his car and he only had his dog with him. And eventually, because everyone loved the script, but they didn't want to get him to be the lead character. And he was like, no, because I know if I don't get that chance, it's never going to happen. So he eventually went and actually sold his dog in order to get enough finance to make the film. And when it was all done, he bought his dog back. And it's the same dog in the movie, Butkus.
It's so cool. Great story.
I'm sure you'd want to work with him if you had the chance. Stallone,
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, all those guys in the
yeah.
Expendable like series of movies. Those guys are my favorite guys. I love to work with all of them.
What do you think of the 80s action films?
Well, they were great back in the 80s. but but now, you look at action films today, there's no comparison. I mean, they were
Yeah.
good back then. Back then in the 80s, you see, I started watching action movies like in the 80s as well, and I used to think, wow, this is just, I'm blown away, Um, I saw Enter the Dragon versus Enter the Dragon, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't think anyone could make a better action movie than this ever. But yeah, look at the movies now, Again, I mean, yeah, so it's different. Times are different, technologies are different, the way they make movies are different now. The skill sets are different. So yeah, so absolutely, I think the 80s movies are good, but I wouldn't make 80s movies unless it's
Today.
like a satire, like Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in Hollywood or something like that.
Yeah. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was really good.
Yeah,
Like I wasn't there during the time, but I felt
yeah,
like
yeah,
a sort of nostalgia in a way for that time period, even
exactly.
though
Yeah,
I was not born or anything.
yeah, and Quentin, like, he filmed it like 80s style too, like the old school style.
Yeah,
Even the
he
color
still
grading,
works
it's
with
like
film.
still
Like,
works with film.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's like anti-digital and things, which is
yeah. That's
just
because
crazy.
that's because it's Quentin. That's because he can afford
Yeah.
it. So yeah.
What do you think of him as a filmmaker?
Oh, that guy's a genius. I mean, yeah. I mean, as a filmmaker, he's definitely a genius. He's an amazing writer. I mean, he's probably a quirky person in real life, and probably not the easiest person to get along with. But that's you know that's a whole different story. But as a
Yeah.
filmmaker, I think he's a genius.
Yeah, he says that he only has like one movie left because he says he wants to make 10 before he retires from filmmaking.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He loves writing. He loves writing and he loves making movies, and people love his movies. So I don't know if he can retire that soon. So
Yeah,
someone will pull him back out
you think
somehow.
so? Because he says he
Yeah,
wants to do like maybe direct plays and theater stuff. He wants to do stand-up comedy, I heard,
mm-hmm.
and kind of those kind of stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure he'll do all that. But at the end of the day, I'm sure one of these studios are somehow gonna pull him back to do another
yeah,
film. Yeah, guys like him, can't really retire forever. I mean, in Asia we have this really famous director named John Woo, and there's like his action films are just legendary, right? And I mean, he tried to retire like several times, but I heard it's coming up with a new movie again. So after like 5 or 6 years,
Wow.
he's back out again. Yeah, so you never know. You know.
Catch full episodes of Into the Muse on Spotify, Anchor FM, and Apple Podcasts. Into the Muse on Spotify, Anchor FM,